there we have it, guys. The 2024-2025 Champions League season has come to an end. If you've been here long enough, you know that the Champions League is my favorite competition. So of course, the Queen had to make her grand return on YouTube to talk about it. So we're talking about PSG versus Inter Milan that ended 5-0. Now, in the context of football, that's bad, right? But 5-0s happen all the time. It's nothing crazy. What's crazy is in that Champions League final. And I hope Inter Milan, their fans, will hang their head in shame because this was just embarrassing. It was one sided after that second goal. I was like, there's no way they come back from this. PSG, incredible display. That was my overall take on the game. I want to touch into each team separately and the thoughts I have. Champions League ever in the club's history is a big thing. They've reached that pinnacle before but failed to get it over the line, and now they have gotten it. It's a very incredible squad. Fans are behind them. Things are not, there's no behind the scene noise. As a coach who knows what he's doing, Luis Enrique, we start with him. So Luis Enrique would have won his second treble with a second different team. And he joined a very small list of managers who has accomplished that, and a very small list of teams that have accomplished that. Like, I don't think people understand how hard it is to win a treble. It's one of the toughest milestones to reach in football. So I've always thought about it in my Champions League predictions video about his setup and his tactical awareness of the game and how incredible he is. And we saw that he completely played into off the park. The players stuck to the game plan. While you have a specific role or position to play, you're expected to defend, you're expected to press, you're expected to run, catch the balls, you're expected to pass between the lines and do all of the stuff that is instructed of you. And we saw that, and we saw the Enrique style come to the project has blossomed over time. It wasn't just a hurricane 6 months. New manager bombs. It actually took some time. It took failure as well for them to get here, and it's just incredible to see. And also another thing for Luis Enrique on tonight's night is if you've watched his documentary, you heard him open up about losing his daughter at a very young age due to a critical illness. And football is about stories. Football is about the moments. And while this is why the game is so beautiful, for him to see that tribute that the PSG fans would have done for him is just incredible. It shows how much they love and care about him, and for him to win this and talk about his daughter and how much she has been with him throughout the course of the time that he's doing this while grieving as well. It's just heartfelt. Talk about PSG's young team and how brilliant this team is, and yeah, they have some of the best youngsters on their side, and it is all due to proper squad building. And I don't want people to create revisionist history because this took decades to win this Champions League. This assembly of this team took billions to get here. So a lot of it, yeah, we prop them up, but also remember the context of what is happening in this moment. It wasn't just great from PSG because PSG's board has been known to do some crazy things that don't work for the betterment of the teams. They always go for star names and for the bigger names, and so they've scrapped that method and tried to. While a lot of experience is still within the team, it's about the future of football, and that got them over the line. Interesting fact: PSG finished 25th in the league phase format. They had to play a playoff game to qualify for the knockouts. And so it puts into perspective how this team has grown because their initial phase of the competition, they were not great. It wasn't until the knockout rounds that PSG actually started to kick fire. And so it's not always about who starts the best or who is deemed as the best. It's about who gets it across the line. It really matters. Popular opinion here, guys. As the president of the Kylian Mbappe stand, right? Him leaving is the reason why PSG won this. And it's not in a bad way. And I know the memes mocking him, oh, he went to win big trophies with Madrid. They went trophyless and PSG won. Hear me out, guys. As I said, PSG spent money. They have done incredible squad rebuilds over the past 10 years. And None of those players had that chip on their back. Not even the board and the management that should have that chip on their back, right? It was Kylian Mbappe, a French talented young guy, won the World Cup. He's been at the club for years, highest goal scorer. He was expected to bring it home, almost got close, and it didn't come true. And so time and time go on, and persons were like, "Will Mbappe do it for PSG? Is it worth mentioning he's the best player if he doesn't win one?" And so he leaves. And as I said, him leaving was the point of the rebuild, and it was the reason why they're good as they are today, not in a negative way. It would be like Hurricane even Spurs and Spurs actually winning a trophy. That's where I'm going. So he actually played a major role in this. The memes and trying to be shady towards him are just crazy. I talked about it briefly, but 5-0, that's just an incredible performance. And I think it's an over exaggeration when people are like, oh, this is the worst. This is one of the worst defeats in our Champions League finals. Numbers wise, yes. But I've seen way worse performances from different teams. Maybe the 5-0 is the reason why people are saying that. But guys, think about it. There's some pretty bad Champions League finals that you can remember. And so I want to talk about the team and how, while a lot of players stepped up and they, grabbed the headlines, it was really a team effort. Marquinhos lead the line as the captain. He's not my favorite PSG captain. He's not my favorite PSG player ever, but he gets the job done. He fits well with the team. He's been with this team for a very long time, and so for him to finally get this means a lot. Desiree Neymar son Doue. I when there's talents like this roaming around, guys, we cannot say football is dead. That's too old. The kids will be all right. The kids are gonna be okay. When your idol is Neymar, when you are hungry for success, when you're talented, you're gonna do well. And this is what he is. He's just exciting to watch. He is the epitome of stardom, and it's just gonna be so incredible to watch where his career goes in the future. We cannot talk about players in this PSG squad without mentioning Usman Dembele. Now, we all know Dembele's story of battling with injuries, his mental health. And a lot of times, again, this is one of the things I've always talked about: right environment, wrong timing, injuries, health reasons are some of the biggest reasons why you don't get the best out of players. And so the minute Usman Dembele got the help that he needed in terms of getting his body fit, being in a team that there's not a lot of pressure on him and he gets to play his football, he does well. Totally deserves play of the tournament. He was exceptional throughout. Now I move on to the losers, Inter Milan. I was thinking about going all in on them, but they've been one of my favorite teams to watch this season, and it's a pretty sad. It's the second um, Champions League final in 3 years, so there's something good going on over there, and that is all credit to Simone Inzaghi. He has done an incredible job. He's won 9 trophies with them. He's brought them back to glory, but he got it totally wrong in this game. The setup was complete rubbish. The defensive structure was complete rubbish. And this is not surprising. I could see this coming from a mile away when they almost bottled that lead against Barcelona. I'm like, you cannot be serious on a Champions League night. And it's all down to the coach's fault and the choices that he made. So that's that. I've heard stories about him. We've seen the rumors that he might be going to Saudi. I think the best thing is to bow out and leave at this point, because come next season, it's about a rebuild. This was too embarrassing. You won no domestic trophies. You went trophyless. You lost the league to 1 point. You came into a Champions League final and lost 5-0. There's nothing you can say to that board to keep him. And so I talk about the trophyless season. This was the moment to say goodbye to an aging Inter Milan squad, a squad that has been through a lot with each other, a squad that needed to prove something that they deserve to be here. They're one of the oldest teams in the Champions League. And okay, you lost fine, but five? What? And as I talk about the old and the age, the physicality caught up to them. PSG ran circles around them. Certain players got caught out. And again, Zage, you saw Yamal cooking your defenders and you did nothing. And you come back with the same thing for them to get cooked again. What? The defensive performance was just, what was happening? This is a team that came in with a chip of less goal, the least amount of goals conceded, to conceding 5 in 1 game. Not to mention our 2 legs with Barcelona, the amount of goals you guys. I sound like an Inter fan, but I'm not. And again, the battling of the leads. I, imaginary mind, saw them coming in with a lead and defending that lead and sticking by it. They just completely shattered, and it was just a mess. The board, as I said, will have to decide what this means. So the players are to be phased out, Inzaghi is to leave, and then the rebuild is to begin. Because going forward, it's just unacceptable. People are never gonna forget this. You're never gonna be able to live this down. It'll be always a part of your legacy. And so now we're thinking about the future. The topic of experience versus talent was kind of put into a lid on that night, because a lot of football fans think the older you are, the better you are. The older you are, the more you've seen and the more you've been exposed to certain things. Once you're talented, it will work. And we saw it tonight, where talent and youthfulness is the way forward in football. It might be going too woke, but it is the way forward, because with the experienced defenders that they Inter Milan has, an experienced coach, they got it wrong. And so sometimes experience is not all we need. And touch on a few of the players, Jan Sommer disappointed. He didn't have a choice anyways, working with somebody who was just, all the goals were from his mistakes. And I saw this thing where Spalletti called him up to the international break with Italy, and he declined. My brother in Christ, why would you call that man after he was defeated 5-0? That is so embarrassing. I would not go either. DeMarco was just, he got cooked multiple times. A lot of the players got their chance with him. Again, why was he? Lautaro Martinez comes to the front here next. You have a thing in finals where you disappear or you come up with your antics. Very good goal scorer here, mind you. Very good player who is just exceptional in goal scoring. But you are not going to be remembered just by your goals. You're going to be remembered for the big moments when your team needed you the most and you failed to turn. Yeah. So again, 5-0 in a Champions League final is more than I could ask for. It was entertaining. It was fun. I can't wait for next season again to see who wins it and what the season looks like. But this is a very good display by PSG. They deserved it. Inter, just get out of my face. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. I know you guys want me to be here every week. Just a girl. But stay tuned for my other video.